everyone and welcome back to Lucy's Larking Adventures. We're out this morning larking along this brook. We've got quite a way to go, so we're out quite early and we're hoping to make a bit of a day of it. We've got nice clear shallow water here. I'm sure it's going to get deeper as we go further along, but we're going to start having a look now, so we'll have a quick browse through, see what we can find. So we're just starting to have a look along the bottom, and there's actually sort of lots of exciting stuff to get looking at. My first find today is this marble. I've seen lots of people find marbles. I've never actually found one before. Certainly used to have some when I was younger, and I'm not sure how old it is, but I quite like it. It's got a bit of a chip to it. There we go, so that's going to come home with me, and then I'm just going to see what some of these other interesting looking things are. There's lots of signs that there's pottery pieces here, which is good, so I'm going to keep an eye out for that. Let's see what this was. Thought it might have been a bit more whole, but there we go. There are lots and lots of broken bottle pieces as well, so we're hoping that's a sign that we'll find some bottles as we go through. Keep our eyes peeled for sure. It is a bit muckier here than some of the other places. There's quite a lot of rubbish, so we'll just steer clear of that as much as we can. I'm sure I'll pick up some bits of it just to check. Some sort of plate edge it looks like. Oh look, this looks like an interesting space to look, doesn't it? Lots of sort of broken ceramic pieces like that. Oh look, that's, obviously there are paste jars around, but we're just finding broken bits at the moment. We're going to head further on upstream in a while, so I don't know what that is actually. It looks old, doesn't it? It's part of something. Let me know what you think. There are lots of pieces of pottery and lots of broken pieces of things that look tantalising. So fingers crossed we'll find some good complete stuff and some nice pieces of pattern pottery. Got my eye out for. So I'm going to head a bit further up. I'll keep browsing and see what else we can find. I'll bring you back shortly and let you know. So quick catch up, some more sort of broken pieces. But these are nice, look at this. I'll have to clean it off and see if it's got any marks or anything on it, so I might take it home. And then look, I think that probably said cold water or something, don't know. It's quite nice, isn't it, when you can just find little bits of writing or pattern. So I am finding lots of pieces of pottery, which is always good. I like this nice sort of green piece here. The rest of it is really murky, and I haven't found any patterned pieces yet, which is always a shame. A nice sort of blue rim there. But I'll keep my eyes peeled. I'm sure that there's more. There's plenty of pottery. As you can see, look, I'm getting quite a collection. So there's plenty to be found, which is exciting. Lots of different types. And then we've had our first complete find This nice jar. So we do find quite a lot of sort of paste jars like this, but this one's got a really nice pattern just around the outside there, and actually a really nice shape with that sort of base at the bottom. So we are going to add it to our collection because it's actually quite pleasing to look at, isn't it? I'm sure it'll clean up beautifully. So yep, that one's going to come home, and hopefully it's a sign that we'll start to find some more stuff that's complete. Like I said, there is sort of plenty of broken stuff at the moment. So I'm going to just bring you up with me a little bit further on. I've seen something that I want to dig up. We'll see if it is something broken or not. Look, it is. It's a shame, isn't it? It's always nice when it's just sort of sitting like that and you just wonder whether you can dig it up and it's complete. But no, not this time. Let's go a bit further. We are close to quite a busy road, I'm sure you can hear it in the background. But like I said, we've got quite a way to go, so it will get quieter as we go up, I'm sure. What is that? Okay. It's like an old piece of drain pipe or something that's been painted. Oh, look at this. This is nice. Just the bottom of something. But it's got Churchill England on the bottom. I'm sure that would have been great. Oh, it's a nice green colour as well. Look, isn't that lovely? It's interesting, isn't it? I wonder what that would have been. It's really fun to explore here, actually. It probably isn't the most sort of picturesque place that we've been, although I promise you it will get nicer as we go on. But there's loads to look at. There's just loads of interesting stuff. So I actually haven't got that far yet. Ryan's sort of gone on ahead because I'm taking my time. You've got to look at everything, right? Look, I could pull things like that out of the riverbed all day. There's a shoe. Ryan must have left this for me. Look at the size of it. It's just so narrow, isn't it? That's got to have some age to it, hasn't it? Look at that. All those layers. Oh yeah, and you can see all the pins around the outside, look. That's got to be a lady's or a child, surely. I might take that home, actually. I don't always take the shoes home. We do find quite a few of them. I quite like that one. So I'm going to try and catch up with Ryan. He's gone on miles ahead. And I'll bring you back shortly and catch you up with what I can find. So Ryan just called down to me that he left this little collection of things for me to show you on my way to catch him up, and I've actually walked straight past it and not even noticed it, which is not very observant of me. However, in my defence, I'm usually looking for stuff which isn't quite so obvious. So he's found a couple of bottles, which is great, and I think this is a Coca-Cola one. I actually think this could be modern. Do you still get Coke in glass bottles? I'm sure you do. But it's actually quite nice, isn't it? It's got a nice shape to it. We might keep it anyway. So we have to make room for some of the older ones. This is nice. It's got that nice sort of long neck on it. Again, I don't know how old it is. Oh, it's got... Oh, look. It says Bristol. Bristol United. So, is that United glass, I wonder? I don't know, but isn't that nice? It's nice to find something really local. So good. Have that one. What else has he found? What is that? Yeah. Oh, this is fun. Is it some sort of game cartridge or something? It looks like it, doesn't it? Yeah, so that's what I mean. There's always quite a lot of sort of interesting stuff to be found here. It's not all necessarily old. Insert measure. Maybe it's a tool or something. I don't know. It's quite nice, isn't it? And he's also found 7p. And this, look. It's an ear. So this makes me think it was, what, a doll's head, do we think? And I've never found one of those and would really like to come across one day. So maybe this is the start, the closest I've got so far. So yeah, he's had some interesting finds, and I've just found this large piece of pot here, and look at the size of it. It's really heavy, and it's got that nice sort of design around the outside. So there's plenty coming out. Probably not going to be able to take all of it home, so I'm just going to have to put my favourite bits. But on I go, up ahead, and I'll bring you back when I've caught up with Ryan. See you in a sec. Hi everyone, so I've just found a nice little bottle. Look, what a lovely shape and size. And you know, I think it might even be blue. What do you think? It probably needs a good clean up. But if it is, I think we've only found one before, so fingers crossed. But either way, it's coming home. I really like it. And it's nice to find something complete. So I've just found another top of these, one of these, and this one looks like it's got some writing on, which is always nice, isn't it? Maybe a picture there or a symbol too. And the number 13, look. So I'm going to take that one home, give it a good clean up. I've actually got a sort of little collection now of the tops of these, in the hopes that one day I might come across one in a bit more of a sort of complete condition. But obviously these bits are the strongest, so there we go. So here's another bottle find, and look at this one, what a shape. Isn't that great? That's kind of got a really retro kind of shape to it, hasn't it? What do you think it was? Probably a sauce bottle, do you think? Can't see any writing or anything on it. There's something on the bottom actually. What does that say? Something Liverpool, maybe? No, that might not be right. I'll have to take it home and have a bit of a clean up of it, and then I'll let you know. But I really like that, isn't it? Just a wonderful shape. Oh look, here's another tiny bottle, little screw lid. Nice round shape. And I quite like it actually. I do like the smaller ones, I think they're really neat, aren't they? Bit busted on the top. I think it's probably going to come home with us. So those of you that watch my videos before will know that I'm always on the lookout for clay pipes, and Ryan's had a bit of a find this time, but sadly it's really badly broken. But look, it's got a little Dublin print on the bottom, and we've actually never found one with such a sort of clear mark before, so it's a real shame that it's not complete, but there we go. So we're going to head off now up to the other part, and I'll bring you back shortly and catch you up there. Hello everyone, so we're at our second part of our video today, which is the same stretch of water, but it's just much more difficult to get to, and it is going to be a bit of hard work here, I think. So if I just show you where I am at the moment, I'm just underneath this magnificent old railway bridge, which is obviously disused and has been for quite a long time. And we're on the outskirts of a town that we've been to before, which is an old coal mining town, and that railway bridge was used to transport the coal. So it is a pretty interesting area. You will see that where we are at the moment, we've just kind of murked it up getting in, so we're just going to wait for it to clear. There is quite a lot of rubbish here, so it's not going to be quite as clean and picturesque as some of our other places, but we're hoping that there'll be some old stuff and some interesting stuff too. So we're going to get in a second, wait for it to clear, and then head off down that way, and I'll bring you back and let you know what we find. Okay, so we've just started off under the old bridge, and we found quite a lot of sort of modern bottles. Okay, here's a really lovely one. Smaller size, and on the bottom it says BVP Limited. So there we go, hopefully that means that there's good stuff here, but as you can see it's a bit of a challenge looking through all of the kind of recently dumped stuff. But it actually is quite eerie here. And the bridge is quite magnificent actually, so I'm having a good time, and I'm going to head off a bit further that way. I'm just using this convenient ledge at the bottom of the bridge as my sort of base camp. I found another Coca-Cola bottle. And look, a tiny little jar. First of all I thought it was an inkwell, but actually I think probably because of the shape that it isn't. But I think it's going to clean up quite neatly, you know? So I might take it with me. So Ryan's just had a fun find. We don't always show you sort of broken bits, but look, this is the top of a bottle and it's still got the 10p on the lid, and it's kind of just before my time. I only sort of vaguely remember when you used to be able to take the bottle back and get 10p to the milkman or the sort of Corona man we used to have down here in southwest England. So I'm sure some of you remember that too, so that was just a bit of a blast from the past for us. And I have found a tiny little bit of pottery as well. A nice piece of blue and white, so hopefully that's a sign that there's a few more bits to come. So look what I found. A nice old car, and I think this has got some age to it actually. And I wondered if it used to be one that sort of used to go around on a track, just because of these sort of, almost looks like it's got connection points. I don't know, maybe not with the wheels. But it's quite nice, isn't it? Funny little thing to find here. These are relics now, aren't they? An old VHS tape. I can't see what's on it, unfortunately. Maybe it was something exciting. I found a nice bottle. An old Lipton's London and Ceylon bottle. So hopefully I'll be able to age that later. See what I can find out. It's close. But it's nice, isn't it? I love it when it's got the name on it. So yeah, happy with that find. Ryan's just had a bottle find, an old sauce bottle, and it's Mason's OK sauce. So I've never heard of it before, but doesn't it sound interesting? Unfortunately it's broke at the top, so it's not going to make it home with us. But maybe some of you recognise OK sauce, let me know. What a great name. Here's another bottle, and we're taking a punt that it is older rather than modern. But let me know what you think. I actually think it's quite nice, isn't it? Tall and pleasant to look at. So we'll clean it up and see if we can age it. And you guys let me know what you think. This is the sort of interesting stuff that we love to find at places like this. So it's got no value, it's completely busted, but it's just interesting, isn't it, to pull that out of an old river. Look at that. That's got a life to it, hasn't it? So it doesn't come home with us, but it makes for a good adventure. So I found a bit of an interesting patch to have a look at some of the things that are here. So I'll try and bring you with me. I'm a bit unsteady on my feet here, so bear with me. Oh look, hope. Isn't that nice? What a lovely thing to pull out of the river. I wonder what that would have said. Well, that must be a message, right? And I saw a couple of other interesting looking things. I think this might be broken, so yeah, shall leave that. Nice big handle. Always the handle, isn't it, that lasts? But I actually see over here wondered if that was part of the same thing, but actually probably the size wise it probably isn't quite right, is it? What a shame there's not a bit more of that, hey? Okay, try and bring you with me a little bit further. I'm going to keep my piece of plate that says hope, so I feel like that should come home. What's that? I don't know. It doesn't tell me enough to keep me interested. Is that a pottery or a bone? This is a kind of fun river game to play, isn't it? But it's a bone. Might just be worth having a look up on these rocks actually, because things get washed up, don't they? Water levels are still pretty low actually. The weather is starting to turn, a bit of a chill in the air today. lots of broken stuff, look. Lids of things and tops of milk bottles and jars. Shame. This looks like it might have interesting stuff, doesn't it? Crikey, that's a whole electric drill. Quite a lot of stuff is dumped here, as I said earlier, which is a shame, isn't it, really? What is that? A ball. There we go. Who knows? Okay, let's go up and over this bit and then see what we've got. So I'm actually heading back up towards the bridge now. Oh, look at it from here, doesn't it look great? Pretty creepy, doesn't it? And this here is in fact, yes, a shopping trolley that has been dumped. So it is a real shame that it's so kind of messy here, but I guess that's the way it goes, isn't it? Expect just a beer bottle. Yeah, there's absolutely tons of those here. And of course you've got to pick everyone up, haven't you, just to check if it's anything exciting or not. More often than not it isn't, which is a shame. Oh, look, a Lambrini bottle there as well. There's a lot of Lambrini bottles here as well. It must be a popular tipple around here. So there's a big hole there, which I'll try and have a look in a minute. But I'm not going to go in with the camera. Oh look, isn't that nice when that comes out complete? I love that. We find so many parts of these. I have found a couple of sort of relatively complete ones. It's always nice to find more, is that they clean up beautifully. And I just use them around the house to kind of store things and trinkets and stuff. Not genuine unless bearing W.P. Hartley's label. It's a good find. Sorry if the footage is a bit shaky. Like I said, I'm a bit wonky on my feet. It's very rocky here. Put my gloves on to get that out, I think. So let me do that. Show you the railway bridge. And why don't I catch you up shortly. See you in a sec. So Ryan was actually able to dig this up for me. And look at it. It is a relic now. It's the power adapter from a Commodore 64 games console. Who remembers those? Guys, so you might have just seen that I picked this up and was like, don't know what it is. I should have been more observant. I'm not on my A game today because Ryan's just brought it back and he's like, it has actually got a message on it. I think it says something like, to the directors, management and staff of a certain company, and then it's got 1997 just there. Little brass plaque, look. Isn't that nice? So it's actually got a bit of a story. And I feel sorry that I threw it away now. So I'm going to take it home, clean it up, and maybe it'll just go up in the garden or something. Oh, hey, look, another one. Hasn't quite got the same pattern around the back. It's got that same little shape, look. That's nice, isn't it? I'm pleased with that. We've got an almost matching pair today. Here's a couple of tiny little interesting things I found. A little bit of pipe stem there, and a lovely piece of china there. What a beautiful little pattern, look, little leaf. Ryan was lucky enough to find this lovely milk bottle, look. And it has actually got some writing on it. It says there, Bennett's Dairies. Isn't that great? Wide top. And also this hubcap from an old steel wheel. So Ryan's really he likes to find old car bits in good condition, and that's pretty vintage, isn't it? So yeah, we're not doing too badly. We've actually been out for quite a few hours now, and we found loads of sort of little fiddly bits, lots of interesting things, quite a few bottles actually now that have come out. Not much sort of pottery for me in terms of the sort of pretty patterned pieces that I like, but loads of interesting finds all the same. I'm going to keep going for a little bit longer, and I'll let you know what else we find. There's the shopping trolley, look, it looks pretty magnificent there, doesn't it? And the sun's just shining through on the water now, so it's pretty pleasant. See you in a sec. Look at this find, it looks like an old doorknob. And it's actually quite pleasant to look at. I quite like it. So yeah, a whole host of interesting stuff, and this is just one of them. So Ryan's had a nice find. Look at this, he's found a collection of tools, all sort of pretty close to each other. Some of you will recognise these are snap-on tools. There's a lever bar, a couple of lever bars, in fact a smaller one I think. And they actually, snap-on tools actually come with a lifetime guarantee, and they've got quite a value, although I think Ryan's just going to add them to his collection. So yeah, don't know how they've ended up here, but we're going to take them with us. So I think we're probably coming to the end of our lark here. The railway bridge is just up behind us, and we've been out for hours now. We've had a lovely sort of day looking around, some really interesting stuff that we found. Not all of it sort of historically significant, but just some interesting stuff, some nice bottles, a few nice bits of pottery, and yeah, just some fun stuff. So it's been a really great adventure. I really hope that you've enjoyed coming with us. Thanks so much for watching my videos. Please do like and subscribe, and check me out on Facebook, Lucy Larking, or Twitter @Lucy Larking, and I'll see you next time. Bye!